Right wings 194, 180 knots or greater to Suti. Contact the tower 120.95.
Hey everybody, it's Kurt, and before we get into this one, I just wanted to pop in and say a couple of things. First of all, this is a long video. There will be chapters along the bottom if you want to hop around in it. The other thing that I wanted to mention is that this is just a kind of a minimal entry-level flight for Vatsim. I'm not getting into all of the fine details of how to plan an IFR flight. I'm not trying to be super realistic. Much like the VFR basics flight that I made before, this one's just going to be how to do it. Simplest terms, easiest possible flight without getting too complicated so that it's digestible for people who are trying this for the first time. All that having been said, I will now turn you over to Kurt from the actual recording, and if I need to pop back in, you'll hear from me again, but otherwise, I hope you enjoy the video. And what we're going to do today is a IFR flight from San Diego, California up to Van Nuys Airport also in Southern California. We're going to do this as an IFR flight. We're going to do it on Vatsim, and I'm going to take you through the whole process, kind of beginning to end. So it might be a little bit of a long video. We'll see how it comes out. So where do you start from? Before you get into an IFR flight, you need to have a picture of what the weather is going to be like en route. And of course, if you're using Vatsim, you want to know who's on, if you have controllers online. It may not matter to you if you don't, but it wouldn't be much of a video today if there were no controllers. So we have Los Angeles Center online, SoCal Approach online, and LAX is full staffed, but that's pretty well. I don't have ground, but it's pretty common for that to be true. So what's going to happen is since there's nobody controlling San Diego for basically the entire trip, as a matter of fact, unless somebody else logs on, we're going to be talking to one controller for the entire time. First place to start is to get a picture of the weather. Now on the SimAware website, you can get radar basic information. There's a little weather tab down here, and you can turn it off and on. So you can see there's a little bit of weather in the area. It's nothing too heavy. I also have Meteo Blue. Meteo Blue can be handy for getting more detailed weather for a region. So for instance, we can look at the satellite, and since Microsoft Flight Simulator pulls data from Meteo Blue, you can expect it to be a pretty accurate picture of what Microsoft's going to show you along the way. So you can see there's some clouds basically the whole route. The weather radar is going to mostly agree. Meteo Blue's filtering off some of the lighter returns, so this is probably a little more realistic. The other thing we want to look at really is winds as they apply to kind of our flight. And nothing too extreme out here, 25 mile an hour up higher up. The routing's going to end up being at about 6,000 feet. So basically, it's a totally doable flight. There's no reason why you wouldn't do an IFR flight in these conditions. The other thing you can check is SkyVector. I've mentioned this one before. Great free website, skyvector.com. And with this, you can get a quick overview of what's going on at different locations as far as visibility. You can also see METAR information. When I pull this up, all that information down below is terminal forecasts and METAR. So we can see that from that, I've got winds are 4 knots, 10 statute mile visibility, overcast at 25,000. And then the green here indicates these are airports that are in VFR. Purple or magenta is IFR. So we can see that along our route, it's mostly VFR. Blue is marginal. So Torrance is kind of low and near the water. So no surprise that they're having a little bit of low clouds there. And LAX is reporting VFR, and Van Nuys is reporting VFR. So there's really nothing too extreme going on. There's just some clouds out there. So this is going to be a pretty straightforward flight, which would be good for your first, if you were doing your first IFR flight in Vatsim. So no major concerns there. And the next thing I do is, and this is something you just kind of learn, and you will learn from the controller or from me when you log into Vatsim, but a lot of times when you're flying in metro areas, they have what are called TEC Routes, TEC, and it's Tower En Route Control. And what it is basically, it's a system, this is just in the US as far as I know, so if you're flying elsewhere it may not be true, but in the US we use these TEC routes in busier metros just to do common IFR routings so that you don't have pilots coming up with 9 million different routings to get to places. It really simplifies the workload for the pilots. It simplifies the workloads for the controllers. It gets everybody onto these kind of fixed routes that get you from one place to another. So we're going to be filing a tech route today. I've looked it up. If you fly in the United States, you can actually, if you do a search on, like I just did Southern California tech routes, and that brought me to the Vatsim Los Angeles webpage. And in here, they have a listing of all the, you can plug in where you're flying from, where you're flying to, and it gives you all the different routings that are appropriate. So the only thing you need to know beyond that is these different aircraft classes. And they're listed at the bottom of the page here on different web pages. They're going to be in different places. But we are in a non-jet piston plane, and it is going to cruise at 189 or less. So we are class Q. So when you go up here, you just want to make sure that whichever one of these routes that you select is appropriate for Q. So since I told it where I'm going from, where I'm going to, it's narrowed it down to the tech routes that apply. It doesn't ask what type of plane, otherwise it would be nice to have it filter it further. But there's a couple different ways to do it. And this one is, the SAN P15 is in kind of inland a little bit. And, or no, I'm sorry. That's the departure, the departure airports. This is the routing here. So this is a coastal route. It goes Oceanside, Popper's just an intersection, Santa Monica, and then on into the Van Nuys area. And then 17 is an inland route. It goes kind of over Riverside, and I figured I'd take the SAN P15 just because the coast might be a little nicer view. All the other routings here are for jets or for turboprop, so they're not really an option for us. And it tells us our altitude for the SAN P15 is going to be 6,000 feet. So with all that information known, I plugged in they give you here the exact routing. So I plugged that into SkyVector right here on the flight plan page of SkyVector, and that gives you the magenta line on the map here for the flight. So I've got it over the VFR chart for now, just because it's a better kind of geographical map. But if you want to have it on the IFR charts, you can put it like this, and this brings out the airways that we're going to be flying along. So it says here, we're going to go Oceanside, Victor 23. So this is Victor 23 here. You can see V23 comes up to, so we come to Seal Beach, bring us across to Popper here, where we will leave the V23 and go via the, or via basically direct up to Santa Monica, and then we'll fly on the Santa Monica. And this routing doesn't actually show it, but on the tech route here, you see it shows Santa Monica 317, so that's telling you the 317 radial out, which is basically direct. It's the same thing to the Canoga intersection here, and then from that point we'll pick up a star or whatever into Van Nuys, or they may just give us direct to the ILS, or honestly, with the weather the way that it is, we'll probably just go ahead and take the visual. We'll see how it goes. So that's the basic planning for a simple IFR flight. You can see there's not a great deal to it, but you do have to know some things. Most of these references can be looked up. You can just search online for them. And if you don't know tech routes, if you call up a controller in Vatsim in an area that's going to use a tech route, and you've got some wild routing that isn't on that routing, they're going to come back and tell you a tech route basically. And if you don't know the tech route, they're just going to give you the routing just like you see it here. So it'll be Oceanside, Victor 23 to Popper, Santa Monica, Canoga. So it can be done either way, and they'll help you out as best as they can. But coming back full circle here, the main thing you want to make sure you've hit on is the weather. Is the flight reasonable? And that's it. The other thing is make sure that you understand the airplane you're going to be using, for your flight. So today I'm going to be using the Bonanza. This is the apparently Kurt in the video became temporarily stoned or something. The add-on I'm trying to remember there is the steam gauge overhaul for the analog Bonanza, and there will be a link in the description. And it makes it into a number of different better Bonanza variants. All right, so we're back. We're on the ground at San Diego, and I have entered into the GPS the route of flight that our TEC route will take us on. And let me zoom out here on the thing, and you can see we've got our magenta line that takes us up the coast and into Van Nuys. We're now ready to make our call. We need to get our ATIS, which is for San Diego is 134.8. So let's get that on right now. I've already pre-dialed it up on the radio there.
Information Mike.
Information Mike.
Blind field ATIS information Mike 0151 Zulu. Wind variable at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 2000. Ceiling 8000 broken. 25,000 broken. Temperature 14. 2.12. Altimeter 3013. Landing runway 27 localizer. Visual. Area navigation approaches in use. Departing runway 27. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Mike.
All right, so let's swap that frequency out.
220, intercept the runway 24 left localizer.
Switch over to COM 2 for a minute so we can get a little quiet in here. So information Mike, altimeter was 3013, so I want to dial that in. Looks like we're pretty close here. So that would be 301, 11, 12, and 13. I want to get the charts up here for San Diego. And the charts, and we want the taxi chart, airport info. Okay. So the main thing I'm looking for here is the runway elevation at our location, which is right here, showing about 16 feet. So I want to cross-check that against the altimeter, which that's pretty believable. That's just basically make sure we've got the altimeter approximately right. The other thing we're going to look at while we're here, so we're sitting in general aviation parking here. I'm going to expect him to send us out via hotel, Charlie 1, and then out on 27. We'll see if he gives us a standard instrument departure. I'm not really sure if he will or not, so we'll find out, I guess. So next up, we'll make our call to get our IFR clearance SoCal approach. Bonanza 734 Delta Bravo on the ground San Diego with Mike to pick up our IFR to Van Nuys.
Bonanza 734 Delta Bravo, SoCal departure, clearance up request. The other aircraft calling, say again.
Skywest 5542, ready for taxi 31 left.
Skywest 5542, runway 31 left, taxi via Whiskey Alpha.
Whiskey Alpha, Skywest 5542.
Say again, sir? KLM 602 Heavy, turn right heading 330.
Turn right heading 330, KLM 602 Heavy.
November 4 Delta Bravo, advised ready to copy.
4 Delta Bravo is ready to copy.
There is 0 Delta Bravo, you're cleared to the Van Nuys Airport on departure, turn right heading 310, radar vectors to the Oceanside VOR, and as filed, maintain 4,000, maintain 5,000, expect 6,000, 5 minutes after departure, squawk 5126.
Seven 734 Delta Bravo is cleared to Van Nuys, turn 310 after departure to Oceanside, and then as filed, altitude 5,000, expecting 6 after 5, departure on 128.05, and squawk 5126 for Delta Bravo.
4 Delta Bravo, we're back correct.
SoCal, good evening, Delta 705, checking in 165 on the Hollywood one.
Delta 705, SoCal approach,
Okay,
verify you evaded Bravo at circa, discretion at CV, you're cleared to ILS, runway 24 left approach.
6.
CV, we're clear 25 left, and we have a Bravo for Delta 705.
Delta 705, you want 25 left or 24 left?
We can take 25 left, we already have that set up.
Delta 705, you're cleared to ILS.
My brother is busy. I don't want to give him my next call. I just want to say real quick, we got our 5126 dialed in. When you're on Vatsim, you squawk altitude even when you're on the ground. That's different from normal procedures in the real world. Otherwise, he cleared us exactly as we requested. So the only things that we need to know is we're going to dial in 5,000 as our initial. We're going to set a heading of 310 after departure. So let's see. Using my button box here, so you will sometimes just see the heading bug. You won't see me clicking on things. So heading bug to 310, and then onward to Oceanside. So for now, I guess I will go ahead and set my my course to the same. Well, that's pretty much everything we need to worry about right now. So let's get back on the channel here and we'll get our taxi clearance. And actually, real quick, I should set up the Oceanside VOR in my nav. Even though we're navigating GPS, it's good to have as a backup. So that's 115.3 for Oceanside. So let me get that dialed in there. And
Sky West 5542, radar contact, say altitude.
5.4, 5542.
SoCal Bonanza 734 Delta Bravo is ready for taxi at San Diego.
Number 734 Delta Bravo, SoCal departure, runway 27, taxi via Charlie.
Via Charlie for Delta Bravo.
Go City 542. Just verify KV to climb, maintain 12000.
12000, SkyWest 5542.
Delta 705, reduce speed to 210.
So we'll do a quick run up down here. This this version of the Bonanza has some failures that can happen, so you do want to make sure that you at least give it a quick check before you commit to your flight, just to make sure you're not going to have an immediate engine failure or something really ugly. So I'm just going to give it a real quick magneto check and prop check, and that's about it, and then we'll get on our way.
KLM 602 Heavy, descend and maintain 3600.
Okay, 3,300 feet, KLM 602 Heavy.
Right, prop.
KLM 602 Heavy, turn left heading 280, intercept the runway 25 left localizer.
Left mag looks good.
280 on intercept localizer 25 left, KLM 602.
November 4 Delta Bravo, you doing the run up or are you ready?
4 Delta Bravo, we just finished run up and we're ready to go.
November 4 Delta Bravo, wind variable at 3, runway 27 cleared for takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, 274 Delta Bravo.
KLM 602 Heavy, 7 miles from GG, maintain 3,300 until established on a localizer. Cleared the ILS, runway 25 left approach, maintain 180 knots.
Can't say we have the traffic inside, but we have in our TCAS for Delta 705.
Sure. KLM 602 Heavy, contact LA Tower 120.905.
120.905, KLM 602 Heavy, thank you.
705, maintain 180 knots to GG, contact LA Tower 120.905.
182 GG, Tower 2095, that's 705, thank you.
And tap the brakes and gear up. Throttle down just a bit.
South Carolina.
Again, our turn to 310.
South Carolina approach is Hotel Papa Bravo Lima.
Frontier Flight 242.
We'll stay on this heading until he tells us to pick up the...
For takeoff, Frontier 242.
November 4 Delta Bravo, radar contact, say altitude.
4 Delta Bravo's through 2000.
4 Delta Bravo, cleared direct Oceanside, climb and maintain 6,000.
Direct to Oceanside, climbing to 6,000. 4 Delta Bravo.
West 5542, advise you have ATIS Bravo at Seaview, cleared ILS runway 25 left approach. West 5542.
Local approach, good afternoon. Alaska 776 with you now, descending via the arrival, for runway 24 left.
Alaska 776, SoCal approach, expect the visual approach, runway 24 left, stay altitude.
So for those of you that might have missed what was going on back there, he gave us the clearance direct to Oceanside, gave us the change of altitude. So what I did was I went into the direct panel on the GPS here.
542 at surface, correction at Seaview, cleared the ILS, runway 25 left approach, verify you have ATIS information, Bravo.
So on the direct, it always pulls up your next elements or your next waypoint. So all I had to do was just tell it to activate, and that would give me a direct from exactly where I am right now rather than where I was when I set it. So that's one of the things with these. So if you were to be 5 miles from where you set it, you could just come in here and tell it you want to go direct to here, hit enter, and it'll reset the magenta line to your current position. That way when I set the nav on the autopilot, it just starts tracking that rather than otherwise it would have turned right, 40 degrees or so and tried to intercept the original course. Since he gave us a direct and didn't ask us to do that, that's a little different operation. So I did that. I got our 6,000 feet dialed in that he gave us. That'll be our cruising altitude. So it's as high as we're going today. And from here on out, it should be pretty quiet for us.
Is that Fairway's 19? Delta 690. You with me yet?
Yep, 690, I'm here, over.
Delta 690, fly heading 180, climb and maintain 13,000.
Heading 180, climb, maintain 13,000, Delta 690.
Hotel Papa Bravo Lima, turn left heading 120, descend and maintain 3,000.
Turn left heading 130, descend and maintain 3,000 for Hotel Papa Bravo Lima.
Hey, Delta 690, I'm going to send you a private message as well. I want you to give it a read once you get up to your cruise. It's just about how to properly fly this departure the next time. Also, just make sure you copy that initial altitude instruction from ATC. It's always best practice in whatever aircraft you're flying, the initial altitude limitation you receive to ATC, you should put in your MCP panel. So that way you're not accidentally busting through the altitude. In this case, you were assigned 5,000 and you climbed through that without an instruction. So just information for the next time you fly.
Yep, roger that.
And I was showing you on the map that our location relative to our route of flight. This is us. I don't know why we have a jet icon, but I thought you might want to know where we're at and how we're moving along here in our progress. So a minute ago there also, one of the things I want to talk about was, and one of the things I've been talking about in my other videos is how these pilots will try to be patient and give you information when they can. So there was a whole block there where he mentioned that he had sent the guy the private message discussing how to properly fly the departure that the guy had filed. So that's a case of somebody who hopped in, plugged in a departure, didn't understand how to do it, and did his thing. So what he's doing is basically just giving them the education so that next time they do it. So that should never be taken as like a reprimand or anything. He's just trying to help these people so that in their next flight, they'll be ready.
Can you try it again?
United 564 with Bravo at 24,000.
Thank you. United 564 Heavy, descend via the Angel 4 arrival at Circus, cleared ILS runway 25 left approach.
Can we possibly get 24 left?
At 564 Heavy at Circus, cleared ILS runway 24 left approach. Start your descent via the arrival, please. You're going to be high.
Start my descent, and at circus cleared ILS.
Hotel Papa Bravo Lima, runway 21, clear to land.
So these are some good examples of some of the things that I'm talking about when I'm talking. So that kid, he got it mostly right. He asked him to make sure he includes the ATIS. Then when the kid did the final read back, he didn't actually, he just said he was cleared for the ILS, but he didn't say cleared ILS 24. There's 24 and 25 at the airport he's flying to, so it's important, especially since he had just asked for a change.
Turn left, heading 090.
090, Alaska 776.
So you just want to make sure that when you read back, that you're reading back the clear instruction you were given.
29060. Spirit Wings 194, maintain 180 knots or greater to 2T, contact LA Tower 120.95.
Second to Spirit 194.
Spirit Wings 194, 180 knots or greater to 2T, contact the tower 120.95.
Maintain 180 or higher, contact the tower 120.95, Spirit 194.
Do I have Delta 690 on frequency?
Yes, you do. How can I help you?
Okay, I called you a couple of times. You missed it. Descend and maintain 13,000.
13,000. Yep, we're going to descend right now. Over.
SoCal 4 Delta Bravo needs to step away for a moment.
Number 4 Delta Bravo, advising your back.
4 Delta Bravo. That's how you ask to leave your computer for a minute so you can do something. So if you ever need to, that's what you do. Anyways, I'll be back in just a minute.
21 to 18, SoCal departure, radar contact, climb and maintain 13,000.
Climb and maintain 13,000, American 2118.
SoCal Legion 215 is on Alpha, John Wayne, ready for taxi.
So Legion 215, runway 20 right, taxi via Alpha Lima, cross runway 20.
SoCal 4 Delta Bravo is back.
4 Delta Bravo, roger. November 734 Delta Bravo, LA altimeter 3012.
3012, 4 Delta Bravo.
Departure, JetBlue 137 with you, passing 1500 for 3000. Correction, 5000.
Wasn't much of a change. One.
137.
We were on 3013 before. Yeah, we can see some sky. Check out this conga line this guy's got coming in.
Southwest 1075 SoCal approach.
They're going to be like
to arrival.
10 minutes out. All these guys are going to start pinging him.
Descend via Ironman 2, and can we get the ILS 24 left for 1075?
Southwest 1075, you may. Just so you know for the next time though, whenever you're cleared for a visual approach, you can also, it's recommended you use an ILS to back it up. So you can always fly the ILS regardless.
Oh, okay. Thank you for 1075. Thank you.
Alright, so when we get into Van Nuys, we're going to need the ILS for that. So we got our ILS 111.3.
SoCal departure, Southwest 594, passing 2000.
And just by random chance, I have 111.3 already in my nav, so we're good.
Turn right heading 250, do you have the airport in sight?
250 4000, 250 Delta 690.
Southwest approach, check on.
That's LAX down below us there. So we're almost there. We'll probably start hearing from this guy a little more often now as he sets up our descent and approach.
And contact center, Qantas 2.
November 734 Delta Bravo, descend and maintain 5,000.
Down to 5,000 for Delta Bravo.
Next number 4 Delta Bravo, traffic at your 11 o'clock, 7.5 miles eastbound at 6,700, descending to 6,000 as a southwest 737 reported in sight.
4 Delta Bravo, no joy right now, we're looking.
That was 1075, your bottom altitude there was supposed to be 7,000. Can you climb and maintain 7,000 for me?
Apologies, 7,000, 1075.
Thanks, you'll see the restriction there at Cliffy is 7,000 on the arrival.
Oh, apologies, we just saw that for 1075.
SoCal Southwest 713, gate 5, ready to push there, Mike.
At 18.5, SoCal approach, say again.
And Southwest 713 at gate 5, and San Diego ready for push.
The 713 SoCal departure, runway 27, taxi via Bravo.
27 taxi via Bravo, Southwest 713.
The 690, runway 27, clear to land.
690, clear to land. Tango Mike.
SoCal Airjet 35, Romeo Tango, taxi with Juliet at Burbank.
Learjet 5 Romeo Tango, SoCal departure.
So there's our plane flying above.
Or 15, would you prefer?
8.
November 5 Romeo Tango, runway 8, taxi via Delta.
8 via Delta, 35 Romeo Tango.
Plus 94, contact LA Center 135.55. Southwest 594, contact LA Center on 135.55.
So I was going to let him know, but there's no factor now, and there's been conversation all the time, so not really much point in taking up frequency time now.
November 734 Delta Bravo, fly present heading, vectors visual approach, runway 16 right.
4 Delta Bravo, present heading and expecting vectors to visual 16 right.
Actually, I'm looking at the ceiling now. I probably can't make that work. What are your flight conditions for Delta Bravo?
Right now we're in cloud. Bases are maybe 1,000 below.
Might be tight. We'll try it. 4 Delta Bravo, descend and maintain 3,300, good rate.
Down to 3,300 for Delta Bravo.
Southwest 1075 at 2,600, reduce speed to 210. Delta 52, 100 departure. I'm not sure why the traffic stopped there. Delta 699, what are you doing? Delta 699, are you able to taxi to the area wing for somebody? Delta 690, just down, I'm going to second, who's you being over? Delta 690, can you keep rolling on the runway to the left turn at Bravo 9? I'm unable to move this plane in front of me. Delta 690, straight ahead on the runway to the left turn.
SoCal 4 Delta Bravo here. Ceilings are above my altitude now in the near Van Nuys.
There 4 Delta Bravo, climb and maintain 5,000 vectors for the ILS 16 right.
SoCal 4 Delta Bravo can make visual from here.
Okay, no 4 Delta Bravo, you're clear the visual approach, runway 16 right.
16 right, 4 Delta Bravo.
Clear visual 24 left, over the tower, 1075, thank you.
So the runway is right over there.
33, heavy flighting 130, descend and maintain 8,000. 1515 departure, right contact, maintain 13,000. 4 Delta Bravo, the wind is calm, runway 16 right, clear to land.
4 Delta Bravo, clear to land 16 right, and we have information kilo.
GPS 66 heavy on frequency.
UPS 6 heavy 14000, we have Charlie.
GPS 66 heavy, SoCal departure, SoCal approach, turn 30 degrees right, descend and maintain 13,000 vectors for the ILS 26 left.
Alright, so we're going to bring it down to 2,000 here, which is more appropriate to the pattern altitude.
30 degrees right from your present heading, GPS 67. Stand by, aircraft in the pattern, John Wayne, runway 20 right, clear land.
Take land, runway 20 right.
Delta 699 and Delta 690, where are you going?
Over to the car.
Alright, gear down.
25 flaps, place to land, around 263.
Our first notch flaps in, or at least we should. Let's make sure they're, yeah, they're coming down, so we're good.
Going to ATIS Center on 125.55 for Delta Bravo.
210
Approaching at a 0925 at flight level 190, and we'd like to shoot the ILS 24 left at Los Angeles International.
Headed 925 SoCal approach at Circus, cleared the ILS runway 25 left approach.
Okay, cleared ILS 25 left, United 095.
SoCal 5227, ready to go. 15,500, descending 14,000 with Delta.
Delta 5200 at 27, ready to go.
Give me a sec. 5200, runway 27 cleared for takeoff, wind variable 4.
Clear for takeoff 27, thanks, Delta 5200.
UPS 833, heavy turn right, heading 250, intercept the runway 26 left, localizer.
Right 250, localizer, 833 heavy.
UPS 1288, heavy SoCal approach, expect the ILS 26 left, say altitude.
Expect ILS 26 left, and we're 14.3, 11 off at 14 now.
UPS 1288, heavy descend and maintain 12,000.
So maintain 12,000, UPS 1288 heavy.
SoCal Learjet 5, Romeo Tango, ready to go, 08.
Canada 263, contact LA Tower 120.95, runway 25 left, you're clear to land.
Clear to land onto Tower S96.
UPS 66, heavy descend and maintain 11,000.
Now 1,000 UPS.
Headed 925, traffic 1 o'clock, 14 miles southeastbound at 13,000. We'll descend below your altitude, UPS MD11.
Okay, we're looking for traffic 0925.
UPS 833, heavy descend and maintain 4,300.
4.382 heavy.
Yes, UPS 833, heavy, intercept runway 26 left, localizer.
Bringing my flaps up,
Sorry,
getting everything shut down here.
Delta. Thanks for your patience. November 5 Romeo Tango, runway 8 cleared for takeoff.
8 clear for takeoff, 5 Romeo Tango, thanks.
SoCal 4 Delta Bravo is off at Hotel at Van Nuys, taxi to the northwest ramp.
Air 4 Delta Bravo, taxi to parking. Good day.
Thanks for your help, Bradley. Sorry for all your troubles.
No worries, just a couple of pranksters.
All right, so that's the whole flight. Hope you learned something. Hope you saw some good examples of what not to do were going on out there, and hopefully I gave pretty good examples of how to do it. I'm not an IFR pilot and never have been, so I'm always kind of fish out of water when I'm trying to do this stuff. But I thought it would be good to show you a whole GA flight beginning to end. And that one worked out well. Nice busy radio frequency. We didn't have a lot of calls, not too much to stress out about from our end. And really a pretty enjoyable flight, other than the fact we were in clouds for so much of the time, but that was kind of expected. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it, and we'll catch you next time.
For 180 knots or greater to Suti, contact the tower 120.95.
Maintain 180 or higher. Contact the tower 120.95, spiritual 194.